Because God is powerful. Because God cares. Because God's involved in her life. Now Sarah had a hard time for 90 years and she struggled with it. But she never gave up. And God did what He said, no matter what Sarah thought. God did what He said, no matter how weak her faith was. God did what He said He was going to do, no matter whether she could believe it or not. And that's what I count on for my life. That's what you can count on for your life. God is powerful. God is awesome. God is wonderful. And He says all He needs is the faith as a grain of mustard seed. Do you know how big a grain of mustard seed is? It's this big. You see, right in between my finger and my, it's that big. Jesus said that's all you need. Why? Because it's not how big your faith is, but it's how big God is. And God saw Sarah through 90 years of struggle and heartache and messing up, and fulfilled His promise and gave him a son, gave her a son. Which is why I put my favorite verse, one of my favorite verses in the Bible in the bulletin again. A man came to Jesus. I need your help. My son is in bad shape. Can you heal him? And Jesus said, if you can believe, I will do it. And I love that man's response, because he didn't go, oh wow, cool. He goes, oh no, if my son being healed is based on my faith, we're all in trouble. And so he said to Jesus with tears, I think you ought to notice that. With tears, he said, Lord, I believe the best I can. Help my unbelief. And what did Jesus do? Jesus healed his son. Not because that guy had great faith, but because he had a little faith in the one who was awesome. Or as Donna would say, she's not here today, so I can say it for her, as one who was awesome. How did Sarah wind up in the Hall of Fame of Faith? Because what little faith she had, she put in the one who was awesome. Why was this man's son healed? Because what little faith he had, he put in trusting the one who was awesome. Who are you trusting today? I can tell you the formula for discouragement and disappointment and ultimately despair. The formula for that is trust in yourself. You will be disappointed. You probably already have been. Sarah was disappointed. Sarah blew it. But you want the formula for a life that's good and worthwhile and brings blessing to the whole world? Then trust the one who is awesome. Trust the one who can overcome any problem in your life, including how big your faith is. And just like Sarah, and just like this man, you will see God's blessing in your life because that's His desire. You will see God's blessing in your life because that's His promise. You will see God's blessing in your life because that's His power. As I started on Sarah's story this week, thinking that'd just be a cool sermon. You know, you gotta look for cool sermons. And of course, I'm into diversity too, so it had to be about a woman. That's good. But as I looked at Sarah's story this week, I came up with a completely different thought of what was going on. As I watched her struggle with faith, as I watched God care for her anyway, as I watched God bless her in an amazing way, it turned out to be a wonderful blessing to me. Not bad. So whenever your faith is weak, whenever you're faced with something that seems too hard, remember Sarah, remember this guy talking with Jesus. And just put whatever trust you have, no matter how small, in the hands of the one who is awesome. And you will find he always blesses. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for the real people you put in the Bible, the real stories. Not just all the victories, but those who have to struggle and even do things wrong. Because I can relate to that. And I thank you for the things you've taught me through this week as I looked at Sarah's life. And I pray that you would encourage people this morning as we looked at her life and how you ministered to her and blessed her and gave her amazing opportunities of joy as she just kept on with you, even when it was hard. And I pray for anyone here this morning who's dealing with a tough situation and don't think they have enough faith. Help them to hear this morning that all they need is a little faith in you. And thank you again for your graciousness to us. In Jesus' name, amen.